all, welcome to MoonDaze here on New Paradigm Healing Academy Facebook group live, later uploaded to my YouTube channel, Akashic Astrologer. I am Queen Mabsy, also known as Michelle Jericho Poplar, here to tell you about this week's astrology. What a beautiful configuration we have occurring for us in the western skies. Just after sunset, you will see Venus and Jupiter hanging out together for a lovely hug, also known as a conjunction. So when the planets are moving in alignment, whoop, like Venus is a little hit here and Jupiter is here, they go whoop and they look like they're hanging out together in the sky because they are entering into an alignment of our values, Venus, and our hopes, Jupiter. Jupiter represents hope. I love, and they are actually in Western tropical astrology, when we're talking about the ecliptic of the earth and the seasons from that point of view, when we're looking at it in the Western tropical astrology chart, which most newspaper horoscopes and most astrologers, like including myself, that you listen to online, will be interpreting the sky from. It is occurring in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is represented by the crab. Has a hard outer shell and a soft inner body. The constellation looks like a crab. This also represents mother or nurturing. So in tropical astrology, this means what we value and hope around what we nurture and caretake is getting an expansion. Jupiter rules expansion, and an activation of love. Venus love. So this is a good benefic time because these planets enjoy this space. Now, Cancer is what we call a cardinal sign because it's on a shift of the seasons. So this is when the summer time begins, when we go to Gemini into Cancer. We're in Gemini season, so what we've been working on collectively is our minds. Gemini rules the mind, and not losing our minds or losing your mind so that you can find your heart. Beautiful, beautiful things. So let me just refresh my my page here on the Facebook group, so that I might see what is presently occurring here. Okay. Boop. Refresh. So I'd like to just start us off with a little activation of fifth dimensional consciousness. Breathe down into root chakra. Presently, as we are thinking about what planet rules the root is on fire, is Mars. Mars is the ruler of the root. Action. Grounding. The entrepreneur, or the trailblazer, as I like to call him in modern day terms. Presently, Mars is in Taurus, sign the very grounded sign of Taurus. It is fixed earth. It represents earth that is immovable because it's represented by a cow or a bull, whatever way you want to look at it. Mars is here going over the territory that Uranus, the planet of expect the unexpected shifts and electric shocking change, has been traversing since 2018. Now in Gemini, where the sun is, the innovation of our feelings around our thoughts is what Uranus is presently activating for us in Gemini during this solar transit. So really grounding in the earth practices, gardening, sitting on the grass, walking barefoot in the grass, hiking, going to the mountains, all these things in our beautiful third density reality will serve you and fill up your cup when it comes to the Martian things. So I highly encourage that. Those of you who will see this later, you'll probably see this, most of you, around the time the sun will be setting if you're in Hawaii, or if you're on the continental US, go outside right now. Go look at the sky in the west and catch Venus and Jupiter in their stellar alignment as they set in the west following the sun. In your two eyes, as in how we see with our vision looking up into the sky, you will see that the actual placement in the sky is in Gemini. So still, the mind is important when it comes to our vision, what we see, and how we respond to our reality. Now, let's take a little breath. I love these. Great. A little pyramid activation while I talk at you or with you. So as you know, as of June 9th, today, Monday, the moon actually sits in Aries. It is hanging out with our friends Neptune and Saturn in Aries, reminding us how we feel being divinity in form. Chiron, the healer, master teacher archetype. Somebody's trying to call me. I can't answer right now because you should be watching my live. Anyway, so my vision of what Chiron and Aries has taught me has been getting into my body, aka Aries. Boundaries. Boundaries is what the sign of Scorpio generally rules. It represents the space between. So I was just kind of affirming some boundaries there. Yay! So here we go. Back to where I was at. As you can see, most of the time, oh, hang on one sec. Let's see. So most of the time, yes, I'm on Facebook Live at TM. Thank you. Yeah, as you notice, it is to be me. I have very fluid boundaries because I'm a Pisces. It took me a while of this 7-year transit of Uranus in Taurus and Chiron in Aries for me to come to find a New Paradigm Healing Academy, and do this work to not be out of my body, and so in the upper levels of dimensions, which made me really creative and fun and also emotional and, well, frankly, not present. So to really fully navigate third density, and I'm relearning everything, and my high self soul keeps throwing shifts and challenges and tests at me, and you might feel the same when it comes to presently the Aries area of your chart. So wherever the cusp of Aries and Taurus is in your chart, with Chiron at the 29th degree, which is the last degree of Aries, before every sign has 30, 0 to 29 degrees. So you're not just born as your sign, you also have a number attached to that sign, and that number has nuance and it has more information. 29 feelings, actions and feelings, that nets to the number 11, and 11 represents integrity. And that's where, once you reach that last degree of a sign, you have reached the fullest integrity of the lesson of that archetype. The archetype of Aries, which is the body, or also the ego, our identity, our personhood, our humanness. Then it moves into Taurus. Well, what do we do and manifest and grow and create with said body? Because that represents all of our things. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. Mars and Venus. Now, who are our big players that we have in a nice harmonic aspect, which is called a sextile, the degrees. It's like a shorter than a trine. Actually, he's in a, oh no, he's in a sextile with Mercury, sorry, but Mercury is also hanging out. Mercury is also, oh, Taurus rules the throat. Hang on one sec, water. Throat chakra opening. Whew. So there's something for me to pay attention to there. What? I'll have to rewatch that to see what I was saying. That got me so choked up. Was me correcting myself on what I'm looking at in the chart right now. So I was seeing Venus in harmonic to Mars, but it's actually Mercury, which is our mind. But Mercury is also hanging out in Cancer with Venus and Jupiter. And me doing these videos for you, the public, or the community here on New Paradigm Healing Academy, and my community as well that watches this later on YouTube, is a huge test for me on what my what I'm articulating with my voice. Now, if you knew me back 7 years ago, I might not have sounded so might have sounded different, more like I don't know, you tell me. If you know me, comment below. Do I seem the same? I don't know. Who am I? I am the universe. So are you. This week is a big relief in the intense energies that we have been traversing over this year as we approach the half of the Gregorian calendar year. And the first 2 weeks of June will feel like a little bit of a reprieve, or a eye of the storm, so to speak. I cannot promise that things past the 2 weeks of June won't be uninteresting, because if you go back to my last live, I did go over the month of June in its in highlight way. But with this shift of the new moon in Gemini on the 15th, now that's going into next week already, just know that the new moon in Gemini will be on June 15th. But prior to that, on the 13th, Venus will be leaving its journey in Cancer and going into Leo. Venus loves Leo. She loves Leo. She's like the life of the party in Leo. So, that should feel nice. But when June 19th rolls around and Chiron leaves Aries and enters Taurus, we are getting a sample, a 3-month sample of what the next 7 or so, have to look up the exact years of how long the journey of Chiron and Taurus will be. Just know the energy around on our mentorship and healing, and what wounding patterns we work with, as in radically accept that there are these wounds that are actually our superpowers. We alchemize and we shift, because that's what Chiron is all about. We take those, what perceived, what would be written off as character flaws or unhealable wounds, and we alchemize those into what we use to inform our divinity and elevate our existence into wisdom. And as teaching moments, we don't identify with those wounds anymore, but we don't forget them. We move forward without them leading the way, and we allow them to inform us of what third density limitations, if we perceive to choose to look at said things as limitations, because they're more like boundaries. And boundaries can be containers. They can be safety. They can be security. They can be structure. They can be structure, and within the structure there is freedom. Because without structure, there can be chaos. So the last 7 years of Chiron in Aries has taught us, at least from my point of view, has taught me how to more fully embody myself in my earth experience, and also been training more in the healing arts and astrology. So here I am telling you about astrology and how it is a useful tool for timing our healing practices as far as it goes when it comes to getting ourselves back into alignment. Now, if you're curious about a New Paradigm Healing Academy and learning more about what we do in the school, you can book a call with Candace, and the link will be below if you're on YouTube, and if you're here on New Paradigm Healing Academy Facebook group, you already know where to go. Yay! So let's move on to the moon schedule this week. So as of today, Monday, June 9th, the moon is meeting up with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and it will be crossing over Chiron at the critical 29th degree of the choice point that is the leap from one sign to another. So now we're going to get an opportunity to see what the choice, and we're going to feel it. We're going to feel out and get an opportunity to make a choice. And then you're going to get 3 months of Chiron after June 19th, 3-month period, Chiron in Taurus, for you to see, does this choice, is it in alignment? This manifestation of this choice around my inner healing? Does that work? And it does it, and then it's gonna retrograde. Chiron's gonna retrograde back into Aries, and you're gonna feel it in your body whether or not that is the right choice to make again, and lock it in for the next Chiron cycle as it goes through Taurus and manifests through that. It's great. It gives you a little test, a little opportunity. Do I like a trial period, if you will? So yay! Enjoy the process that Chiron, the master teacher, is teaching us. So that's one way for you to look at this period of time that's upcoming. If things arise that you don't prefer, that's your timeline when it comes to your manifestations, Taurus, and your body, Aries. So there you go. Hopefully that information helps you out. And with the Jupiter-Venus conjunction, what that is aligning, as it does at the 25th degree of Cancer today and tomorrow, June 9th, June 8th into 9th, and they'll still be working their energy. They've been kind of building up to this for a while, for about a week, since the beginning of June, and seeing it in the sky. This is in a square or a challenging aspect, we like to say, presently on Moon Day, to our structures, Saturn, and our feelings, the Moon. Now allow yourself to recognize your thoughts and your feelings and how they connect you to spirit or high self. Are they from high self? Are you in heart brain coherence? And that might look like recognizing that if you don't feel from your heart, if the thought doesn't feel like it's coming from a heart-centered place, then it might not contain the right structure. Let me repeat that. If the thought around the nurturing Cancer, Mercury's in Cancer with Jupiter and Venus, the thought does not feel like it came from your heart or high self, then it might not be the right structure for your feelings. And then you can get into your body. The best way to dissolve it is to get into your body and dissolve it through movement. Whatever movement looks and feels best for you. You can't go wrong. Just move the energy through your body. Figure out whether it wants to go down or up. It'll go out the dolphin hole or it'll go out through the root. And just get it. Or you can journal if that helps too. Get it out of your body. Moving on. So as the moon moves past Aries, now here, let me just pull up. There we go. The moon is still in, the moon is still in, so off today. Moon is in Pisces, and then tomorrow it'll be in Aries for the conjunction. Then it will be in Aries through Wednesday, feeling the body. So feeling spirit first, then feeling the body. And then it will move into Taurus, giving us a preview of how we will feel around our manifestations on Thursday, on the 11th, and Friday it will wrap up its time crossing over Mars. So we will be feeling what right decisions around our hearts with our actions around our manifestations that we will be taking action upon. And as the moon crosses over the planet Uranus on Saturday, that will gift us with an activation of our fate around our dreams. And then Sunday, we will have the new moon in Gemini at the 24th degree. That is our belonging where we feel, and what we feel and open up to. And caveat, if you're feeling and opening up to any fear programs around your belief systems or false evidence appearing real on Sunday, on this new moon, dissolve that shift. They will come up, but it's coming up for us to release and dissolve and not manifest through fear. If you're manifesting because, or you're shifting and working and, you know, moving through because you're motivated by a fear of something happening or false evidence appearing real, that is not in service to yourself. Never is. It never is. Yes, plan around, create plans and containers in case said fear happens, but do not lead with the fear. That will never serve. It only creates war, conflict, and suffering. Not that your fears aren't valid, because truly, things shifts do happen. This is objectively true by our human experience, because we still live in third density where there's polarized reality, this or that or this, me versus them, us versus I, all of that. Yeah, that's still very much in existence, and I acknowledge that. But can you get curious about maybe opening up to more infinite possibilities, that perhaps there might be another way? So with that, I love you all on the new moon this Sunday. So building up Jupiter, Venus conjunct, Chiron still sitting all week at that tested degree, reminding us about our body, and that transformation, that hum, that low hum. I forgot to mention Pluto's still retrograde. We got this. You got this. It is a beautiful time. But recognize that everything is happening for you, not to you. And if you're having any challenges, look within, look up, and also know you're looking within. All right, I love you all. Happy MoonDaze. Oh yes, if you want to learn more about the crystal pyramids that my mom and dad make, this one has unakite, epodite, red feldspar, black tourmaline, blue kyanite, copper, and gold. I'll have to flip this around, but this particular one wanted to come and play today, so these are channeled galactic energy devices. We call them devices because they just seem to recalibrate and program, especially when I put them under my Reiki energy healing table. So if you're on the island of Oahu and you need a clearing, I'm available for you at Aviva Wellness and Acupuncture as well, which also is in the description below if you're on YouTube. Anyway, I love you all. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Bye. Woo.